everybody, it's Calaxon here. If you guys enjoyed this video, remember to join our Discord server, which is free, or become a patron over on Patreon, which costs money. Anyways, so if you guys have been following our videos up for today, the last one, hopefully, if these are ever in order, I said that last week too. I was like, you guys have already seen the Weiss's Fate. They didn't. Like, they didn't see that one. You know what I mean? Everything's so out of order sometimes. But anyways, for this one, we are talking about Raven's original plan. And so this was before, you know, Cinder took out the Grim Arm and decided to go stabby stabby, you know, like she did. And so I just wanted to talk about what I think their original plan was. So they were going to get down into the basement. Vernal was going to put her hand on the door, and that would be the signal for Raven to basically pull out her sword, get Cinder, and murder her. And they would do a surprise ambush. However, when Cinder started talking to Raven, Raven grabbed for her sword, but then Cinder kind of seemed, I don't want to say to distract her, because I wouldn't say she's distracted, but she couldn't just pull out her sword right there, because I think Cinder was kind of looking at her, so I think that she was trying to be sneaky, and then she didn't expect that Cinder's arm would be able to extend that far, right, to reach Vernal, and so I think that she thought that she had more time, but she didn't. I think this was a good plan, but obviously no one expected the fucking Grim Arm. Like, I think that Raven is me, so Raven is shocked, but not surprised, if that makes sense, because she'd be like, yeah, that's a Salem thing to do. I just didn't think that she did it. You know what I mean? And so I feel like that is where Raven is currently at right now, if that makes sense with Vernal. Like, I feel like that was their original plan, and it would have been fine without the Grim Arm thingy. They would have just sliced through her. Cinder would be dead on the basement floor. But of course she has to have a Grim Arm. I'm actually pretty happy about that, because I called that last week. Like, let's give me another W so I can get a win. For everything I don't call, I never measure that up, because people usually just forget. Anyway, unless I'm really wrong about something, then, like, the werewolf thing is haunting me forever. But anyway.
And not Raven being a skinwalker, which is always what I go back to.
Wait, but that wasn't disproven!
Anyway.
She still turns into a bird! Anyways, yeah, so that's fine. So I think that that was her original plan, and I just kind of wanted to talk about, I don't know, I think it was a good plan, but again, the Grim Arm just kind of got in the way. Like, it kind of just ruined everything. But here's the thing, though. I don't want to talk about just this plan. I just want to talk about their whole thing in general, sort of. Like, for Vernal to be pretending all the time to be the Spring Maiden, like, that took some fucking coordination, you know what I mean? Like, and we'll probably talk about this more in the videos about, you know, Vernal's fate and using Vernal as a sacrifice. But right now, like, I guess logistically, like, that must have been fucking hard to do. Like, they must have had to practice a lot, and I wonder if even the tribe thinks that they're so good at it at this point. Is that Vernal is, again, somebody that Raven cares about a lot, because we talked about that in one of our other videos, and so she was able to kind of trust her and everything. And before, storms would just happen, and magic would just happen. You know what I mean? But then Vernal came in, and Raven was like, okay, she's a Spring Maiden, I'm just here. And so that explains why she wears the mask. That, like, it explains, sort of, I guess why Vernal, it was kind of in a weird position. Because, like, if the Spring Maiden is taking care of their most recent hostage. You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of weird, isn't it? Like, with Weiss, I mean, like, that she was just sitting around taunting Weiss. Like, you'd think that she'd be, like, doing, Spring Maiden things or whatever, but that seems to be reserved, again, for Raven. I mean, that may not be that weird, I just think that that's weird. But, like, okay, so when they showed off the thunder, or whatever, like, Raven put her mask on, and Vernal did it, like, she just stuck out her hands and was bullshitting for Cinder, and Cinder didn't even notice, right? And that shows that Raven is very, very skilled, that she doesn't even have to move. And then the other time when the lightning bolt crashed out of the sky and Vernal said enough, like, that's some good coordination. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, I guess they sort of figured it out for themselves.
Yeah, and so, I don't know, like, I just think that's really cool, because I'm like, Hunter, could we do that? Like, could you pretend to have something that I had like that? You know what I mean? Like, if I
have gonorrhea.
No. Like, if I had magic, would you be able to sync up your words with my magic? Like, if I shot a lightning bolt out of the sky right now, would you be able to say enough? Like, because that's basically what they were doing.
Well, I'd hope you'd be good enough at it that I wouldn't, you know, kill myself accidentally. But I digress.
Yeah, but that's basically what I'm saying. Like, they really had a solid plan, but it's just the fucking Grim Arm that was like, hey, how about you don't do that? And so, yeah, that's just kind of all I wanted to talk about. People were saying, though, with the lightning scene where she did say enough, like, that was a bit of a plot hole because, you know, Raven wasn't wearing her mask or whatever, and it looked like that Vernal had really did it, but at the same time, we didn't see Raven or Vernal, like, actually do it. Does that make sense? Strike the lightning bolt down from the sky to get everybody at the camp to stop fighting with each other.
Wasn't she wearing a mask?
I don't remember. Like, people said that she wasn't wearing her mask in that Vernal, like, it looked a lot like Vernal had done it or whatever. But I think that that just showed, like, because it was, like, Weiss and Yang were distracted, right? They were about to throw down with some people, and so if Raven did it and then Vernal screamed, or even in the other order, nobody would have noticed anything. Like, nobody was looking, you know what I mean?
Unless she just has, like, a thunder thing.
Who, Vernal?
Yeah.
I mean, maybe that could have been her weapon, because her weapon has lasers out of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think what I'm trying to say is there's a lot of people who are like, this is such a big plot hole. Like, no, just because you're confused doesn't mean that it's a plot hole. Like, I'm pretty sure that the rest of us pretty much understand just fine. Like, and we're gonna talk about this again later in the week about Raven killing the original Spring Maiden, but I don't think that that's a big... That's not really a plot. That doesn't contradict anything that we've seen previously.
Or it's not something that still needs it's a mystery more than
yeah, exactly. And so, like, they're gonna probably explain on it, and if they don't, I feel like we have satisfying information already, or we can piece it together ourselves. Like, if we need this much help, like, to figure this out, like, I don't know what to say. You know what I mean? In terms of, like, how we were kind of, like, gonna discuss that basically Leo Spring Maiden ran away, she came in contact with Raven killed her, and then Raven got the powers or whatever. Something like that, you know what I mean? And so, that's like, sometimes the simplest answer is the best answer. It doesn't need to be, oh, but maybe Vernal had them, and then she did a transfer from Vernal, but how did she do that? And like, maybe she was a Spring Maiden all along, but then why wouldn't Leo remember? Like, no, like, just, like, there was another girl, like, just, there was another girl, like, relax. Like, it's okay. And, like, maybe there wasn't, and it was Raven the entire time, and Lionheart was just, I don't know, like, being a little bitch. Like, I don't have the answer, but I'm just saying that, like, the easiest answer is sometimes the best answer, and the easiest answer is that Lionheart was training another girl, and then Raven killed her. And then, I guess the second easiest is Lionheart was training Raven and made up that entire story for Crow because he didn't want Crow to find out that she was the maiden, because Crow wanted, or, Lionheart wanted the school to fall anyway, but then why wouldn't he tell Cinder if Cinder was gonna go over there, I guess?
I feel like you've just ruined that video.
What do you mean?
By explaining away basically everything already.
There's some other stuff that I want to talk about, though, so that's fine. But I'm just saying, like, I think that they had a solid plan, and again, it's not a plot hole, it's just something that we don't know yet, and I feel like we're just guessing. It's a mystery. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like our guess is good enough, if that makes sense. Like, what we're saying right now is fine, in my opinion, like, to justify it making sense in terms of the timeline and everything, but yeah. I don't know, I just think that they're clever, they did a good job, Vernal and Raven. We'll talk about, like, the good job on the part of the writing team another day. But yeah, that's all I wanted to say. But no, I have more stuff to talk about in terms of, like, Raven killing people, because people have been throwing around this sort of, I don't want to say a crack theory, but this theory that Raven killed Summer because she was trying to keep the secret that she was the Spring Maiden or something. So that's a whole other... Okay, don't make that face at me. I didn't make it up.
I mean, her death is such a mystery that no idea.
Yeah. So yeah. So that's pretty much it for this video. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. So we'll be doing a lot more of these throughout the week. But yeah, I just think that it's so, like, because it's one thing for the writers to kind of set something up, but it's another when you see that the characters are actually doing it. Does that make sense? Because it's easy for the writers to write in a twist, because they just write in the twist. You know what I mean? Like, it was him the whole time. Like, you know, that's... Are you okay?
My thing isn't working.
The controller?
Anyways, yes.
Oh, so, like, that's something that's pretty, like, easy to do, you know what I mean? But when you see hints that the entire time the characters have sort of been planning this out and doing it almost like so perfectly, you kind of forget that anybody wrote that in the first place, and you sort of, at least for me, I don't know about you guys, but for me that reads like, wow, like the characters actually thought this out. It wasn't just the writers being like, we want to trick people. You understand what I'm saying, Hunter? Like, what do you think about that?
I mean, it's not. It's obviously like she said. I mean, she said it like she knew, like surprise, bitch. But yeah, obviously, I mean, that's such a weird way of framing it. Like, was it the character or was it the writer?
I
like,
know,
both?
but you know what I mean.
These aren't real people, yo weirdo. The hell kind of question is that?
But you know what I mean, though, right?
Sure.
Like, you understand what I'm trying to say. It's that, like, it's whether that the characters showed proof that they were actually in on the plot twist, basically. You know what I'm saying? Leave me alone. Why do you do this to me every
because
video?
It's just such a weird... Anyways.
Let me treat them like people. Anyways.
God damn it, Cal.
So I hope
you treat fictional characters with more humanity than you treat actual living fucking human beings.
I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, remember Patreon, Discord. We are going to have a lot of videos about Raven, and so we may get a little repetitive at times, but we're always going to try to bring some new information in each video that we're doing, because, like, there's a lot of people kind of to talk about this stuff, especially in the Discord, which is why you should join the Discord. And anyway, we will see you later. Bye, guys!